everybody, it's time for wedding trivia. This is my update to something old, something new, something gifted, something blue. Before we start, you know I'm going to ask you to do all of the things. Thank you so much for all of you who do that. I do appreciate it. Okay, so this project, you know what? I don't have my notes out here. I can tell you most of it. It was a conversation between Misty and Jessica. And so Jessica kind of created it for Misty, according to what Misty says. I've always kind of credited them both equally. They put it out there and I jumped on it because I thought it was super cool. And then it kind of opened up to everybody else too. I don't know if they were planning on it being that way, but they just said, well, we're using the hashtag old, new, gifted, blue. What do you know? I joined right away. It seemed cool to me. I've taken this and I've used it as an opportunity to inundate you with wedding trivia that you probably don't need to know, but some of it is kind of interesting. And I actually like looking this stuff up because a lot of this stuff I didn't know. I am an academic geek, in case you've never been told that before. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. I really have an addiction to education. Anyway, not relevant for this project. This is every month. It's 4 products, one in each category. You pick and choose. You set goals. You can finish. You can do whatever. I have primarily used this to get rid of a lot of my smaller, older and newer, but a lot of my smaller and sample sizes by slotting them into the categories. I do occasionally pick something that will take more than a month, but a lot of times I'm able to rotate through these smaller ones every single month. So I'm getting a lot of things out of my collection that way. For me, this is the perfect vehicle for that. It's only 4 things to keep track of. It makes it easy. That I already told you the hashtag is old, new, gifted, blue. The updates are monthly, the 24th. I cannot remember when we started this, and I don't know if it has an end date. I don't remember. If I find it or I look it up, I'll throw it on the screen. Alrighty, so the first thing I always do is tell you about everything that I have had in the project and where we are at with those items. My old item was my Clinique Happy In Bloom fragrance. This one I like a lot. Am I going to run out and buy it? I need to not buy any more fragrances. I still have too many to use up and I've picked up too many. But I do like this one. It's on the list so that it's still on my radar, but my list is more of a place of where I just keep track of things, not necessarily things that I'm planning on purchasing anytime soon. So that's how that goes. With this, it started at 12.3 grams. The package is 8.6, so I use 3.7 grams of product. And that will go into the empties. Then for my new... What the heck did I have for my new? Okay, I had my... I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry, you guys. Brain cramp on that one. Crazy Train is trying to take over. I had my Huda Glow Obsessions palette in, the one with her face on it that, yeah, whatever. Anyway, this is the Light Glow Obsessions. I think that's how it was. I don't know how many shades they had. This was what was remaining, and it was in a clearance section at Sephora, and I got it because it was over half off. And I thought, well, why not? I liked it. I thought I'd see if I liked it. I found out I loved it. My original goal was to use each of the shades twice, just so I could get a feel for it. So we've got the highlighter. We've got the, well, I think this is the blush, and it's a little bit shimmery. It's actually kind of almost metallic under these lights. You can actually see that. And then this I thought was perhaps a blush topper, or maybe, I don't know, another highlighter, because it's awful light. Can you see that one? It's got a hint of a peach to it, but it's still almost more highlightery, and I think I used it as a blush topper. I think. I don't remember. But then there's the bronzer. And these are all obviously glowy in the name. Kind of helpful. So I thought, well, okay, I like my highlighters and I like my beaming, but am I going to wear a bronzer topper? I didn't know and I wasn't sure. But I love it. I am actually so impressed. So I actually used these. I used the highlighter 3 times, the blush 4 times. This topper I used as a blush topper 5 times. Helps if I hold it straight. And then 4 times. The bronzer topper I used 5 times. You would think I would be able to read my own notes. Not always the case. All right, so then for the gifted, I had a gift with purchase or gift in something, the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair hair mask, and that was a 1 ounce bottle, so 34.1 grams. The package is 8.4, means I used 25.7 grams of product. I did the math before I sat down to video. It's the only reason I have numbers for you. Then the last thing that I had in, and I had this in for 2 months because I had started here. It's the e.l.f. Bounce Back Jelly Cleanser. I had started here last month. I was here, and obviously I cut it and finished it off. I got to get better bathroom scissors. Things aren't cutting real well. So because it started in June, we started with 63.8 grams of product, and then it was 40.8 last month. All total, what was left in the tube when I brought it into the project, I have used 48.8 grams of that product in this project. Does anyone care? It's not that exciting. But anyway, so you know, just so you know how much I'm using in these things and how quickly I use them. That helps me figure out what kinds of things to bring in and how many things for longer projects that I can put into them. I'm working my way through trying to figure out how to set things up for year-long projects because this is my first year panning. All right, none of that is relevant. Let's talk about trousseau. Now, I had mentioned this last month and said that I was going to look into it more because I didn't know if I had the right definition. And I kind of did and I kind of didn't. So a trousseau is a French word that translated apparently means bundle. So it's a bundle of things that you are gathering for your wedding. I thought a trousseau was all of the garments from the wedding through the honeymoon. So I was kind of right, kind of not. It was a very, very big thing in Victorian times, but the trousseau generally kind of equates to the hope chest. It was a status thing back then. The more things you had in it, because it included linens and heirlooms and the jewelry and all of that kind of stuff. So it was kind of equated to a dowry. A lot of times it was stored in the hope chest or in the steamer trunk or whatever you may have had. And those things do still exist. You can still do a trousseau, but because that's not how the structure of marriages work, gender equality has changed. Same-sex marriage has changed a lot of that. What the woman brings into the marriage are intangible things. They're not material goods. That's what makes a successful marriage. So what this occasionally is, because it's referenced in literature quite a bit, Pride and Prejudice, where Mrs. Bennet is so distraught because Lydia's father has not allocated any money for her wedding clothing or garments and whatever it may be. Wow, I'm really butchering that, and I do actually love that story. And then it's also referenced in Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca, where he says, I should have taken her to buy more clothes when we were in London, or something like that. So it's referenced that way, and in that way it's kind of a status thing, but it does include, or can include, everything from the rehearsal dinner through a honeymoon, if there is one. It was generally wedding clothes, and I don't know, they used to have a breakfast or a luncheon after, so receptions were different. All of that stuff was different. There wasn't necessarily a groom's dinner back in the day. That's a different, newer thing. I mean, it was in some cultures. But anyway, in reference to this, it is definitely more bride focused, and it is definitely more about the shoes, the veil, the undergarments, the dress itself. If there's a dress that you change into for travel, for when you leave the reception to go on to the honeymoon, that's included. For the wealthy, it was also the honeymoon clothes or things that you would need in the days following the wedding as you're getting everything set up in your household. Now, in Victorian times, it became pretty common, not just in the middle and upper classes, but also in others, and it was not necessarily custom made or store-bought. For the upper classes, for society, yes, it was. They would go into the dressmaker and have all new outfits made. For people who were not of that socioeconomic bracket, a lot of times these were things that were lovingly sewn by your mother, your sisters, your grandmother, your aunts. It was a family thing. So there's special meaning to it just because it was made by the women of your family for you. Now, did you wear these things after you are set up in your house or after the honeymoon? Sure, you can. A lot of times, some of these things, because they were nicer clothes, were put away and then worn only for special occasions. But anything that goes in the hope chest actually is part of the trousseau. So all of these specific garments would also be part of that. And sometimes if you didn't have enough money to have nice stuff, it was more practical too. Like if you were marrying a farmer and you were going to be on the farm, you needed more workable clothes. So sometimes you didn't have a honeymoon or maybe you just had a weekend, but then if they're setting you up so that you can get your house prepared, there's also going to be chores. So there's going to be practical things too. It's not all just fancy stuff. That's what I found about trousseau. It's all actually very nice. It's aside from that it's kind of equated to dowry, but the idea of the garments that it included, and if they were custom made for you because of this being such a big occasion in your life, or if they were lovingly made by your family members, all of that is really, really amazing. And it said that with the trousseau, because of it being the hope chest type of idea or steamer trunk, what have you, that there is no starting too early. That you can be building these things from little on. So it does tie back to some of the other topics that we have discussed in previous updates of this project. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to say about trousseau. So I was incorrect. It is the clothing, but it is so much more than that. That was the main point, just so you knew, because I had mentioned it and I was not completely accurate. I don't know that anybody takes what I say as like, I always know what I'm talking about. Until I look it up, I don't always know what I'm talking about. I may have an idea, but I could be completely wrong. I'm human, just like everyone else, so I'm sure that was a big surprise. Let's talk about what I'm bringing to the project, shall we? My old item is a Mary Kay toner that my mother found me. They discontinued this line of products quite some time ago. This stuff is old as can be, but honestly, I've been consistently using these every time we come across one, and they haven't gone bad. This was part of the skincare set that actually was in place when I was selling, and still after I stopped selling. So, I mean, it's not like it's 100 years old. It's only like 85. Yes, that's a joke. But some of the things that they switched to, I couldn't use because of my issues with exfoliants. Even with the original set, I did not use the exfoliator because it ripped my skin apart. So when they started combining and doing 3-in-1 products and doing all this other stuff and then phasing out the line that was original to my era, I wasn't able to use the stuff as much. Well, I couldn't use it at all anymore. So I started going out and doing other things. And that's what you're seeing in a lot of this, is where I tried Lancome. I tried this and tried that. And it's taken me a long time to figure out what I do and don't like. And now I will try almost anything except for an exfoliant because I know what it's going to do to me. My eyelids were stinging again today. I'm just weird. Anyway, my mom came across these since we've been moving her. That's what we've been doing this month. And I don't know I think I've mentioned it. I'm pretty sure I have. And I know that I've said stuff on Instagram too. So she found these, and anyone that she has that is a number one, because those were alcohol free, she has grabbed and given to me. I even have an old demo tube of this stuff. This one is a little bottle. I did put a mark on where we're starting. This is I believe it's a 1 ounce. Yep, it's a 1 ounce, 20 something milliliter, because I don't have glasses today. I remembered the wipes. I forgot the glasses. What could I say? But I wrote it down. I think I wrote it down. 29 milliliter. This weighs 38.7 grams. My goal is to try and actually use all of it in the next month. My new item. Oh, geez. Okay, I don't know what order my things are going up in, so this may be a new item to you. This may not be. You may have just seen this, but anyway, I have got a new MAC lipstick in Daddy's Little Girl. These names are so cringy, you guys. Seriously. It's the Love Me lipstick line. So it is not a matte. It is one of their more, I guess they're not gloss, but they're probably satin. Shiny, I guess is what. Okay. I forgot I had the palette. So if you have not seen it yet, geez, there's the color. I'm wearing orange. So yeah, that's helpful. But it's a really lovely pink, and I wanted to get this in here for 4 uses because I have several new lip products. So I want to try and use this at least one time every week until my update. I'm going to be putting the other new ones that I got in also in other projects, so I want to try and make sure I sample all of them. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of uses, but at least it gives me a chance to play with some lip liners and things like that. My gifted item. This is going to be a long video because I'm crazy training all over the place. Juliet Has a Gun, which was a gift with purchase with a Sephora order. And this one is Magnolia Bliss. It's your standard little tiny spray that usually comes in a card. For some reason, Juliet Has a Gun likes to do them in the boxes. This is 0.057 ounces, 1.7 milliliters. It weighs 4.6 grams. Now you know. And then my final item is my blue item. For this, I am bringing in an older item. I am bringing in one of the no longer in the line Bath & Body Works Sleep from the aromatherapy. This is the Lavender Chamomile Body Mist. I use these for the pillows. Lavender Chamomile was my absolute favorite. The one that they seem to still keep doing is Lavender Vanilla, which is lovely. I can't use the eucalyptus one. I can't use the mint stuff. I'm allergic to all of that. So they keep changing the things, and it's harder and harder for me to find things that do work. But I have got this much left, you guys. I did put a little, I don't know if you can even see it, there's a little black mark there from where we're starting. This is probably going to take me a couple months, but I use this as a pillow spray. This was originally a 4-ounce bottle, so I mean, I've gotten quite a bit of use out of it. We now have 200.9 grams, but it's a glass bottle, so it's not as much product as it might sound like. That's it. I don't know why I'm racing through this. I don't know why I'm rambling. If you've made it this far, thank you. Tell me what your favorite Bath & Body Works fragrance was, or maybe is. Whatever. Anyway, all comments are always appreciated. The thumbs up are appreciated. Subscribing to my channel is always appreciated. All of those things are. Thank you so much for playing along with me, and I hope you enjoyed this month's trivia. Until next time, see ya. Bye.